of our clients, they come to us and they're like, okay, I understand that LinkedIn works and I really want to use it to grow my business. But Jesse, how do I stand out? So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the tactics, some of the strategies that I advise them, I give to them that helps them to stand out with their profile, their brand, and ultimately book more calls and close more clients that are specifically relevant and to their business. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Jesse van Breugel. I'm a top 50 creator on LinkedIn in the marketing and sales category. And over the last few years, I've helped people generate over $2 million in organic revenue through LinkedIn. And in this video, I'm going to show some of those insights to you or share some of these insights with you so you can implement the same. And of course, my goal is that you book more calls and close more clients. And if that's working, just drop a thumbs up in the comment section and I'll see it's working. But anyways, you might be in this position that you have been posting content, you have been trying a few things on LinkedIn, and you're like thinking, okay, it's good, but I sound like everyone else. And here's the thing, like that's usually not a good thing, right? Because your posts are fine, but they're forgettable. There are people just look at them and they have like no feeling, they don't resonate with it, man. There is nothing that differentiates you. So one of the key things that I always advise my clients very early on in the process is that I'm like, hey, really get into the psyche of your target audience. And I know that sounds fluff and I know that sounds hard. So before you turn off this video and go do something else, let me just give you a very simple example. Like what you want to do with your content, you just want to talk about the challenges your target audience has. You want to show that you understand their frustrations, their pain points, their desires, their obstacles, like all these things. And a very simple like acronym that I tell all my clients that every time they come to me, it's very easy for them to remember. It's called the FODOF: fear, objections, desires, obstacles, frustrations. And you as a service provider, I would say it's your duty, your responsibility to have a good understanding of this, because the better you understand your client, your target audience, the better content you can write, but also the better you can serve them and thus grow a more successful business. So you might just want to stop this video right now and just list out what are the fears my client my ideal clients have, what are the obstacles they feel, what are the desires they have, what are the objections they tell themselves, and what are the frustrations, right? FODOF. And that will just help you just really get clear and get specific on your content, because the moment if there's only one thing you will take away from this video, do this and your content will become one of a kind. You can still educate your audience and educate in your content as you're perhaps already doing right now, but if you just infuse those emotional angles, it will be different. So that's already the number one tactic you can use to make sure that your content stands out on LinkedIn. The other thing, and I think this is even a more interesting and a more valuable and a bigger benefit of this strategy, is that you will show your target audience, you will show your reader that you understand them. And as a result, they lean in, they pay closer attention, they might engage with your content, they check out your profile, they might even send you a message. And trust me, this works. Like, I have so many messages from people when I write something specifically, they resonated. So for example, one thing that I really understand about my target audience is that they don't want to become a content creator. Like they're a coach, consultant, or a small agency owner. And they look at LinkedIn, it's like, okay, I know it works. I really want to do this for my business because I understand there is potential, but I don't want to be a content creator. And then I'm like, sure, I get that because I've been there and I understand that's not the way forward. I understand that you're a business owner. You just need a systematic way to make LinkedIn work for you. So that's also why in the program that we run, the Authority Figures program, we've built a 60-minute LinkedIn routine in which people can use every day of the week. So 60 minutes or less, they use this and they book calls and they generate clients. One of our guys, Atanas, he used to spend like 4 hours per day on LinkedIn. Didn't really end up anywhere. After we implemented the 60-day routine, the 60-minute LinkedIn routine, he not only went from like 4 hours per day to 1 hour per day, he also in 30 days he booked 19 calls and he closed 3 high ticket clients. So that alone is of course already a massive win. Like he literally minimized his time from like 75%, plus he made so much more money in the process. So now he has a system to consistently generate these results, right? And that's only because I understood, like, okay, in order for him to make this work, I don't need to make it like, I don't build a routine optimized for content creators. Like, I can't say to Atanas, hey, do 4 hours of this. Plus, it's not even needed. Like some of the so-called gurus on LinkedIn, they tell you to comment for 2 hours. And I think that's bullshit. Like, it does not work for generating high ticket clients. It might work for building like a, let's say, like growing a engaged audience or creating a community. But if your goal is to generate high ticket clients on LinkedIn, which I think it is, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video, your goal should be on like income producing activities, right? So long story short, like really understanding what your target audience needs, wants, desires, use that in your content, use that in your messaging, and you already set yourself apart from so many other people, right? So that's the first thing that I want you to know. The other thing where it's really, I would say, easy for you to stand out with your content is where you want to infuse your personal story, your personal insights, your client results, your client wins. Like just as I did myself just like 1 or 2 minutes ago, where I shared the story of Atanas, right? That's a story that only I can share because I work with him personally on this, right? So someone else might have a similar, they might have the similar opinion about how to infuse emotions in your content, but they cannot bring the story of Atanas, right? They can bring a different story, but it's still a different story, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to look at, okay, how can you educate your audience on a specific thing, but how can you then also infuse personal insights, personal stories, case studies, client wins, all these things that makes your content, right? Because that will just set you apart from anyone else that just generates like, let's say, how-to content or very generic like AI content, right? So that allows you to say the things that others won't or others can't. And to take that one step further, you can also figure out a way, okay, how can you create more polarity in your content? How can you say things that others might think but don't want to say? So I know that some of the, let's say, the more contrarian things that I teach our clients is to not spend any time on the LinkedIn feed. Sounds pretty weird, right? Pretty controversial I teach our clients how to generate high ticket clients on LinkedIn, but then I tell them to not spend time on the feed. Why do I say that? Well, why do I say that? Because the reason that the feed is just distraction, it's just noise. It's like unrelevant post, it is ads, it's just a bunch of like distraction, right? So I'm telling our clients that, like, hey, don't spend time there because you'll just end up scrolling. You will find yourself comparing yourself to other creators in terms of engagement. You might read posts that are not relevant for you. I don't know about the ads on your LinkedIn feed, but for me and for our clients are super irrelevant. So not even like getting like good products and good services from that. But at the same time, I do understand that our clients need the social aspect of LinkedIn to work. So we've built a system that allows them to go to the profiles of the people that they want to connect with, go to the profile of the people that they want to like engage and interact with the content, and just bypass the feed. Because we know the feed is just, that's where like doom scrolling starts. And then like people start scrolling on the feed and suddenly they're like 2 hours further, like ahead in the future, and they have nothing done, right? So we've built a system that they can bypass the feed and still get the things done, right? So as I'm like using this in my content, people understand, and I get their attention, like, hey, don't spend time on the feed. And people like, what is he saying? Like, why would he say that, right? So I let them lean in. The other thing is that in our program, in our coaching program, where we help people build like a sustainable and profitable client acquisition system on LinkedIn, I don't hold the hands of my clients. I'm not like a babysitter. But what I do is I provide the structure, the guidance, the support system, everything they need to succeed, and it's working. Like I said in the beginning of this video, over the last few years, we helped our clients generate over $2 million just via LinkedIn. So I know it's working, but my clients don't hire me or pay me money to like hold them accountable, of like calling them up every morning like, hey, did you post? I'm like, no, we provide them with the structure and the guidance in order to make the thing work. Like I said, with the example of Atanas, we built a system for him that as he's a busy agency owner, he can run that and just spend less than 1 hour on LinkedIn and still grow his business while making more money through LinkedIn, right? So all these things to say is that the more you can use what you're already doing in your content what you're already doing in your business in your content, that's like, those are like the building blocks to create something that only you can say, right? Write the content only you can say. Like that, I would argue, is the biggest lever you can pull in content. Like it's better to create content in your specific way once a week than trying to be educational 7 times a week, right? Like people don't need more knowledge and more information, right? Like your target audience, they can go to ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google to figure out the solution to their problem, right? What they want and what I find on LinkedIn is they want to find a person that they trust, both in like expertise and competence, to help them go from A to B, right? Like you can literally go to Google or ChatGPT and you can ask, you can ask for the theory in how to get clients on LinkedIn. You might have tried that, but then you're like, oh, there are so many nuances, so it doesn't work for you. So why would I then, with my content, only educate you on how to get clients on LinkedIn, right? Then I'm just battling against a robot, which I don't want to do, right? Instead, I take this angle of like, okay, I need to educate my audience slightly on perhaps some of the limiting beliefs they have. And at the same time, I need to position myself as an authority that once they're ready to take action, I'm there to talk with them, right? And the combination is why people reach out to me, right? And it's the same combination that I want you to do. So educate your audience specifically, talk about the problems they have, talk about the pain points, the desires, the frustrations, the obstacles they feel, but at the same time, infuse all the things that only you can say, right? Because that's where the absolute magic is. So if you do these things strategically, if you do these things consistently, you will stand out on LinkedIn like no one else. You will literally create a category of one. And that alone, that personal brand, will have such a massive impact on the rest of your business, right? It will become easier to generate clients or generate leads, close clients, attract talent, or attract new employees. Perhaps you are needed like funding or all these things. Like having that brand carved out will be such a massive unlock for you. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.